Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is who is your next secret admirer? So we're taking a look at who is the next person that's gonna have a crush on you, the next person that sets their sights on you, the next person that, you know, is really feeling you basically. So I set the intention to do the next person instead of who currently has their eyes on you. Of course, somebody that may currently have their eyes on you may come through, but I have set the intention for the next person because I've been really feeling that, you know, spring feeling, that fresh feeling. I feel a lot of newness coming in, not just for myself but for the collective, and I felt this would be like a really sweet and cute video to do. So let's get in. So I have 4 crystals for you guys to choose from. Pile number 1 is the Tiger's Eye. Pile number 2 is the Amber. Pile number 3 is the Ocean Jasper. And pile number 4 is the Malachite. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual, and I shall see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who is going to have a crush on you guys next. Who is going to be your next secret admirer? So I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile number 1, the Tiger's Eye pile. Who is the next person that's going to have a crush on my pile number 1s? Who is pile number 1's next secret admirer? Tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s. Who is going to have a crush on my pile number 1s next? We have the Awakening, Renewal, and Enlightenment. Who is going to have a crush on my pile number 1s next? We have the Two of Feathers, which is the Two of Swords. Who is going to be pile number 1's next secret admirer? Spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 1s. Who is going to be pile number 1's next secret admirer? Am I using these? No, it's kind of a bunch of them, to be fair. Pile number 1's next secret admirer. King of Feathers, which is the King of Swords. Who is going to have... Oh, it flipped over for me. We have the 10 of Acorns, which is the 10 of Wands, responsibility and dedication. Okay. And the back of the deck, you guys have transformation, transition, and liberation. Okay. Let me put this down and we'll get into it. So straight away with the Awakening card and with the beautiful peacock on there, one thing that I'm going to say is that when this person is drawn to you, when this person really has eyes for you, there's going to be this feeling about you that's a little bit inescapable. Like, you know, when the peacock kind of shows its feathers and its colors, I see you guys being in a phase in your life where you're really showing up for yourself or speaking up for yourself, or you're just going to be very out there. It could be that you guys are just super social at that time, so you may be going out a lot more, whether that's, you know, on a night out, or it could be just physically doing things a lot more, you know, going to restaurants and taking yourself out a little bit more. It could be that I feel like there's a lever being pulled where you're finally comfortable kind of showing yourself, expressing yourself, or really being out there. I see a lot of work on the solar plexus, so I see you guys feeling very confident in yourself. It could also be that, you know, you're really pushing in regards to your career, so you're very active there, and this could be somebody from work that really, you know, sees you about a lot. It could also be that you guys may be a lot more active on social media, so you may be posting a lot on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, you know, all of the above. And there's this feeling of like inescapable, like I keep seeing you, so like you keep showing up and I'm feeling very drawn to you. This person's going to see you as somebody that's very charismatic, that's somebody that's very funny, very bright, very bright, and very, there's a feeling of like kindness, but it's like a moth to a flame. I just feel really, really drawn, and it's like I'm looking at like the peacock, and I'm looking at the colors and the vibrancy, and that's what I'm being drawn to. It's more than just physically, it's just energetically. There's a vibrancy kind of like eluding from you, like just coming from you, which I see as really beautiful. And what's interesting is I feel like this person might have been around for a little while, but just might not have noticed you, not because maybe they were sleeping on you or anything like that. It's almost this feeling of maybe energetically you were a little bit cloaked, so you could have been working and doing some healing maybe on your solar plexus, so that's why this person didn't see you yet. Maybe it just wasn't time, so spiritually you just weren't aligned yet. But again, it's like a lever being pulled, with this person's almost like seeing you. It's like you're showing up energetically, it's like you're there, and there's this attraction coming through. So it could very well be somebody that you were already friends with. It could be somebody that you were already around in regards to work, or it could be somebody that you've seen out and about, but haven't really connected with. Or again, they could have you on social media, but again, with that lever being pulled, it could be that you might not be on social media a lot, then you come on social media, and then you're, you know, it's like you're in my face, you're inescapable, like now I'm, you know, really being drawn to you. So there's something in regards to that coming through. I think this person's going to, because this person feels very Capricornian, like very earthy, very logical. They can feel all these feelings, but they're not the type to just jump in and love bomb, jump in and you know, like chase like that. They're really gonna like pace themselves, set their eye on the prize and move towards it slowly. So I don't think you're gonna know, pile number one, that this person has a crush on you, is secretly admiring you. I see something being built between you both very slowly. I see a lot of communication, and I see a lot of speaking, but there's something about it that feels very peaceful and very slow. This person knows how to pace themselves, so they're very aware of like, I have an attraction here, I'm energetically attracted here, but I need to see if there's substance behind it. So I think that this person's going to move in quite slowly in regards to like communicating with you. They might want to physically meet you or see you. I feel like they'll be very open in regards to getting to know you, or asking you questions, or wanting to see you, or wanting to like partner up in some sort of way. So if you know, do work somewhere, they might be wanting to like work with you in regards to something, or you know, if you've like started a new gym and you're there all the time, and that could be it, they could be wanting to partner there. But it's almost like a slow build. I see this person wanting to really slowly get to know you and what's behind that, because it's like, I'm very drawn to this light, but I want to make sure it's of substance. So this person feels they got their head on right. I think that this person is super logical. I think this person does move quite slow. They may have like Venus in Capricorn, Venus in Taurus. There's a feeling of that, Venus in Virgo. They feel a little bit older than you, to be honest with you. I feel like this person may be a little bit more experienced in regards to maybe relationships, or just like dating in that area. I do feel that. I feel like there's a maturity. I just feel them very, like they would have dated and been in relationships, and they know better is what I'm hearing. So I don't know if they've, you know, been in a relationship that would have you know, fallen through in the past. They like learned from that. This is somebody that does learn. With transformation and liberation as well, I feel like you're both going to be in a new phase, to be honest with you. I feel like you're both going to be in a new phase, and I feel like you're both looking at each other like a fresh start as time goes on. This is the secret admirer that I feel is going to probably turn into a partnership, into a relationship, to be honest with you. I don't think this is something that's just going to be hidden. But I don't think you're going to see this person as your secret admirer at first. I think you might even friend zone this person, to be honest with you, when you first meet them. And I think something's then going to grow more intimately. I'm not saying you're not going to be attracted to this person, but I almost see you looking at it in a very practical and logical way too. Because it's funny, it's like you're following their lead, because you're not really putting this connection at the forefront. So you're kind of following their lead and then moving slow. So it's like, oh, this is a pal, this is a friend, this is a chum, you know, like this is just, you know. And you may have had a lot of connections in the past that either it's pertaining to your past, where you would have had a lot of connections that were very drawn to your light and would come in and love bomb, or because of your light at that particular time period, you're going to have a lot of people really drawn to you. you may count this person out, you may friend zone this person and not look at them as a potential partner, because I think that you are going to have people kind of buzzing around you a little bit. I'm hearing the talk of the town, you know, it's kind of funny like that. Like, I feel like you're gonna have a few suitors, if that's how I'm gonna put it. I feel like you're gonna have a few people very drawn to your feathers here. And I see that, yeah, I feel like this person's almost, to you guys from your energy, maybe lingering in the background, but not lingering in the background. They're going to be there. They seem very dependable, but I don't think you're going to be like, oh yeah, this is someone I'm going to be in a relationship with at all. I think you may have somebody else in your mind when this person's around, that may be, you know, being a bit more fiery, and you know, it's kind of like they're kind of more in your face. This person's more to the side a little bit. They're aware of you, but they're logically moving kind of slow. And I think it's going to take some time for you to realize this person on your right is someone you're going to end up in a relationship with. This person's going to be the one that you end up in a relationship with. And I think that's why it's come through. Very logical, very practical. You may even friend zone this person. They're just like, oh, okay. And they'll just keep it platonic until there's something that's going to emerge later on down the line. Like, I see like an aperture, like I see like, you know, when you burst a bit of a pipe and water comes through, I feel like that's what's going to happen. But I don't think you're going to be super, super drawn to this person straight away. But you're going to click with them really well. You're going to talk a lot. You're going to have a lot in common, and you are going to feel very comfortable with this person. Very comfortable with this person. Pile number one. Let's pull some more cards. Let's pull some more cards. Let's get into the oracles. So pile number one, please, spirit guides. Oh goodness. Pile number one. Who is pile number one's next secret admirer? We have Pisces, intimacy, intuition, and compassion. Pile number one's next secret admirer. We have House 11, friends, like-minded groups, and humanitarian beliefs. This is either someone you're going to work with, or this is somebody that's going to be in a friend group, or someone that you're going to friend zone. Yeah. Or you're just mistakenly going to be like, oh, we're friends. That sort of thing. Pile number one. Who is pile number one's next secret admirer going to be? Oh goodness. We have house 3, early learning, childhood relations, the rational mind, and communication. I partnered the colours of these decks really well, didn't I? They almost look like they're from the same deck. They're not, but they look like it. Pile number 1 feels very spring. Pile number 1. Who is pile number one's next secret admirer? Who is pile number one's next secret admirer? Fire, confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. The back of the deck we have Virgo, integrity, reverence, and service. I think you're going to be around this person a lot at the time. This is what I mean. This person feels like they can't escape you. You're going to be around this person a lot, but because this is the thing, you've been around this person, you're going to be around this person a lot, or you could have already been, you could be right now. That the reason you're not going to look at them in regards to a connection is because there's such a comfortability, there's a comfort feeling here, and there's a safe feeling here. And you remember I was saying your person feels more advanced in regards to relationships. I almost feel like maybe for some of you guys, your past relationships might have been very short-lived, very, you know, 5th house energy. It's like short-lived, whirlwind romance, or just like a romance that didn't last too long. It could have, you know, there could have been a lot of hurt in your last connections. Maybe that's something you've worked through. And I think that's maybe why you don't see this person as a romantic connection, because it's like your brain is opening now to like learning what love is, but it's like you have to like learn that, you know what I mean? When you've had connections like that in the past, you have to learn that that's safe, like safety is, and comfort, and that love feeling that takes its time to like grow. That's, you know, like growing in love, that's like a long-term thing. And I feel like you might not see that straight away. It's like, oh, I do like this person, I like this person's morals and stuff, but I think that feeling of maybe chase or back and forth, that somebody might come in that will have that, you know what I mean, with you straight away. And I see you guys not playing ball with like a cat and mouse feeling, but I see you guys being very kind of like patient, and I see somebody kind of really being in your face, almost like the way that your person that I'm talking about that's gonna be admiring you feels like you're everywhere. There's someone gonna be around that you feel is everywhere, but I see them almost really being in your face. But for you, I feel like you're gonna either get tired of it quickly, or this person's gonna show a couple red flags, so you're gonna be like, nope, 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 and you're gonna shut it down. You may even confide in this person. I'm not sure. You may though, and I think that's gonna have you realize, actually, I don't think that's something I want. I don't think I want someone, you know, that person was just saying all these things in my face, but they weren't actually delivering anything. Whereas I feel like this person that's secretly admiring you, they are. I think they're quite dependable. I think they're physically around you, and I think that's where the more intimate connection comes with this person, where you're able to grow. Because we have intimacy, intuition, and compassion. I just see, how do I explain it? I see like there's a soft energy here where it's like, how to explain it? It's like, I don't know why I'm being shown spaghetti when it goes in the pan and then it starts getting soft. I feel like that's the situation with your person. I feel like you're going to grow and flow into love that way. And I feel like you're going to start getting softer with each other and more emotional as time goes on. But I definitely feel this is either going to be someone you're working with, someone you're actively doing like activities with, so that you're around a lot. It could be, again, house love and internet. They could be seeing you a lot on the internet. Or again, career. It could be something in regards to that as well, because I just see like a lot of people around. I think you're going to meet this person in like a crowded situation, or where there's a lot of people, or like the internet's really crowded. We swipe around a lot of people daily, don't we? So it could be that. I see you guys, again, with the learning, you could be in school or college meeting this person. You could have been to school or college with this person. You could have been learning something with this person. That's another thing that I'm picking up. But I do feel like you guys, you're going to be able to communicate really, really well. I think you're really going to flow that way. I think you're going to be very blessed with that. I think you're going to click that way quite well and feel quite comfortable to just say things to each other, which is really, really beautiful. And I think that this person's going to hold space for you to feel comfortable to open up your heart space, you know, or how do I explain it? I almost feel like this person's giving you, it's like, I'm making you feel comfortable so you can express your inner child, let your inner child play. It's that sort of thing. I think this is going to turn into a connection. I think it's going to be quite healing, but it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take some time. Could even go into like a 2-year period where you meet this person, you're friends with them, and then it's like it grows from there. It's really going to take its time, pile number one. It's definitely going to be a slow burner. Going to be a bit of a journey, you know. Pile number one. Who is pile number one's next secret admirer? Oh god. We have death and magic. Let me make that focus. We have death and magic, and then we have, pull one more card, pile number one. Who is pile number one's next secret admirer going to be? We have the future. Are we gonna focus? There we go. So we have the future, and then the back of the deck we have Isis, rebirth. So we have rebirth twice, because we have the transformation card at the back of the deck here, and then we have rebirth here with Isis. So you're going to meet at a very significant time in both of your lives. I think it was always divinely guided to go that way, to be honest with you, because if I have to be honest, this does feel like a soul connection, especially if you're meeting in both of you, you know, in this kind of like new phase. You're definitely it's like when you start a new season of a show and there's new characters, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like this is definitely a soul connection. I feel it's like a soul connection because I just feel like you guys are going to be in 100% a new phase. And I think it was almost set to go that way, where there would be a level of friendship or a level of comfortability first. One or both of you may have the tendency to maybe project onto someone or keep people at bay, and then project, you know, that there's a feeling of one of you usually doing that, which is why I feel there's a feeling of you both needing to be around each other at first without pressure. There's a feeling of you guys getting comfortable around each other at first without pressure, which could maybe cause some like cracks in the foundation. So I think that's why it's kind of been guided that way. Yeah, that's 100% what I'm really seeing. And I feel like with the future card, I feel like this person's definitely going to see a future with you, see a potential with you. And I think that's why they're investing, or at least wanting to have you in their life in that way, because there's this feeling of wanting to kind of keep you around, like as a friend or something, because I feel like this person genuinely sees a lot of value in you, 100%. And yeah, I really do feel like this is going to grow into, this is going to go beyond secret admirer, to be honest with you. This is going to be a very open admirer, and then, you know, partner. It does feel for a lot of you this is going to end up in like a partnership. So pile number 1, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 2, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who your next secret admirer is. So you guys chose the amber crystal. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get straight in. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 2s. I don't know why I'm being shown a tornado. There's nothing coming through about it. I'm just being shown a tornado. So we'll see how that will pertain to the reading. I don't know. Pile number 2. Who is pile number 2's next secret admirer? Who is pile number 2's next secret admirer? I'm going to be honest with you, just starting the reading, I don't think you're going to admire this person back. I don't think it's going to be mutual. This could even possibly be somebody from your past, which is why, because it's like, when a tornado's coming to me, I'm not excited about it, you know. I'm gonna want to hide. I'm going to want to not have that in my life because it's going to cause a bit of distraction. So it's making me feel like you may feel that this person's just going to cause destruction in your life, or they may have already done that in the past. You've moved on, and it's like, oh, here it is again. No, I'm off. I'm leaving. I don't want this. I have to be completely honest. I think that's the next thing coming through. But there's almost this feeling of this person wanting to communicate or tell you something or get something off their chest. But I do feel like there's going to be a motive as well of like, I'm drawn to you. I want to be around you. There is a feeling of that, pile 2. I know that might not be what you want to hear, but that's what's coming through. Pile number 2, the amber crystal. Who is going to be pile 2's? What have we got? It's fallen. 3 of acorns. Okay. Which is the 3 of wands. Pile number 2. Who is pile number 2's next secret admirer? Who is pile number 2's next secret admirer? We have the King of Shells, which is the King of Cups. Harmony and integrity. Who is pile number 2's next secret admirer? The Star. Who is pile number 2's next secret admirer? Who is pile number 2's next secret admirer? 9 of Feathers, which is the 9 of Swords. Perspective and self-empowerment. Back of the deck, we have the 5 of Crystals, which is the 5 of Pentacles. Persistence and new possibilities. Okay. Okay. Pile number 2. When this person comes in, there may be some level of growth with the person that I'm talking about, or they may just be seeing things from a higher perspective, or it could be that they're seeing you from a different perspective, because this person's coming in with this Three of Acorns energy. In the card, as you can see, there's like a giraffe, and giraffes can see very high up. They can see from a different perspective because they're seeing from a, you know, a higher perspective. Basically, they're a lot taller, their necks go quite high. So I see this person looking at you differently. I see this person, maybe there is this feeling of them wanting to return and maybe do things differently, or maybe there could be apologies coming through from this person. There's definitely a discussion or a conversation that this person's wanting to have, but I do feel like this person definitely would have had feelings for you in the past, or definitely felt some type of way in regards to you in the past, been quite attracted to you in the past. And I almost feel like, I have to say, it's a little, not cocky, it's definitely not cocky, it's more so them just, this person kind of does feel a little bit like they can get what they want, sort of thing. Or this person may feel like, oh, I can reach out to my pal number twos, they'll answer me. And I think they're almost going to project how it's going to go, and it's not going to go the way that they think. Because with the Five of Crystals, you know, that's actually the Five of Pentacles. And when we look at the Five of Pentacles in the original tarot, it's somebody being shut out and shut off, you know, left out in the cold, sort of thing. But with this deck, we have the Five of Crystals with the ladybird kind of crawling up the tree trunk, and it says persistence and new possibilities, which in a way can kind of contradict the natural right away. And there's this feeling of like this person having an idea of how things are going to go, and it's not going to go that way. Because with you guys, with the King of Shells and the Star, I don't see you being nasty to this person. I don't see you putting this person down. I just see you being quite shut off to this person. Now, it doesn't mean that you're shut off emotionally, because one thing I'm going to say is that you actually have very beautiful emotions, and you're very connected to them. So I do think when this person maybe tries to approach, I do think there are going to be feelings that do stir up in you that you might even be a little bit afraid of, because I see you not wanting to go back to the past. And I think that's why I'm feeling that dread when that tornado is coming towards me, because it's like, I don't want a repeat of this. When you think of a tornado, it goes round in circles, it spins round and round and round. So there's this feeling of, I don't want to get caught up in that again. And I think that you are going to have feelings of the past come up, pal, too. I think that you are going to feel a twinge emotionally, and I think that you are maybe going to want to maybe there's this feeling of naturally, because it's what I've done in the past, want to open up. And you may be thinking, no, I'm not going to feel that way, but I do feel when this person approaches, there is going to be a twinge. But I see you being very, to them, they're going to feel it's cold, because I don't think they would have had this from you before. But I don't think you mean it in a cold way, because I don't see cold intentions coming from you. It's more in a way of, we've had our time, I don't want to go around in circles with this again. You could have grown, you could have shifted, you could be seeing things from a new perspective. I just don't want to go in this circle again. You know what I mean? I don't want to spin round again. It could be that you allow this person to maybe apologise, but it just might not be good enough. Or it could just be a little too late. That's kind of how it feels. Whereas this person almost feels, there's almost like a definite feeling in this person's energy of, I'm going to apologise and we'll get back to how we were and everything will go back to normal. But there's this feeling from you with either too little too late, this is, you know, you've left it too late, or the damage has been done, or I've grown and I don't want anything to do with this. Or it's like, there's definitely a bittersweet feeling coming through, but it's like, where was this a year ago? Or where was this 6 months ago? Or where was this 2 years ago? Or 5 years ago? Or however long? Or it could be, yeah, there's this feeling of, you should have said this then, or you should have done this then. Or it's like, it's still not enough. You may have grown to where I was at that point when we last connected, but I've grown even further now. So you're still not where I feel, you know, I'd like you to be, and you're still, I don't think you could give me what I want. You could be more in touch with your needs now and they not be somebody that you want. But I feel like you're definitely, there's a bittersweet feeling because there is a rebirth. I feel like you're not going to be in the same energy, but with the Nine of Feathers, with perspective and self-empowerment, that bittersweet feeling, the sweetness is coming from, I think that you guys, it's almost like you're taking a piece of you back. You're feeling a lot more empowered. You feel like there's something back in your hands from this connection. And I think that's why it has to go underway. I think that's why this conversation may need to happen, or this bumping and meeting may need to happen. Because I see this person, I'm not gonna lie, I do see this person almost getting ahead of themselves, like almost projecting of, this person's going to be like this, and I'm going to be like this, and we're going to be like this. And it's like, it doesn't happen that way. And I think that this person almost feels like, I feel a little bit shut out in the cold. I feel a little bit stuck. I feel a little bit like, oh, you know what I mean? And they could even still project even when, because I'm feeling this feeling of like, there's this feeling of, oh, give it time, give them time, give them time. I'll just keep being persistent with this energy. Give them time, give them time. It's like they're not getting it, pal, too. Or it's like, I'll give them a couple of months, and I'll just like stick around, or I'll message them every now and then and see. Or it could be that they'll take the L for a minute, but then pop back up later down the line and be like, hey. Like, there's a feeling of that. This person doesn't see that it's like they're not accepting this rebirth. And even though they're physically seeing different, there's almost this feeling of, yeah, but I've rebirthed too, so now we can, you know what I mean? Like, I've grown and you've grown, and now we're both seeing from a high perspective. So it's not going to be like it was before, but it's like, I don't think this person's kind of realizing you're not there. Hi, Luna. Hi, pretty girl. Say hi, everyone. Luna's come to say hi. She's kissing your cards. But yeah, I don't see this person kind of understanding that you're not interested, which is why they're coming through as a secret admirer, because there's still more projection. And I do still see them sticking about, while I don't think you're kind of being stuck there. It could be that a friendship might grow. It could be that you keep this person around as in a platonic way. I just feel for a lot of you guys, I see you guys maybe not wanting to, because your memory of this person is a tornado, and it's like, I'm not wanting to go back to that. I'm not wanting to go back to those feelings. The minute I let that leave it down, I'm going back to those feelings. So there's like a definite, for a lot of you guys, I feel like you're going to want to shut the door, but I see this person lingering a little bit. So if you have they could like follow you on social media and still be super aware of you. Let me just grab Luna, guys. She's trying to climb my plant. Don't climb the plant, baby. Don't climb the plant. Good girl. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing. I don't think this person's going to quite understand things are, you know, over. Until maybe you're in another relationship, or they can see you're in another relationship. They may pry a little bit as well. They could even be like, oh, well, they're probably talking to someone. That'll be over in a couple of months, and then we can speak. It feels like that. But you're not looking at it in that way. No, they're not, are they, Luna? They're not looking at it in that way at all. Luna agrees. Okay, so let's pull your oracle cards. Should we pull the oracle cards? Yeah? Let's pull the oracle cards. Pile number... You're so beautiful, Luna. You're so pretty. You're so pretty, like a flower. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. Are you intrigued? Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2. Pile number 2 is next secret admirer. Yeah, I don't think this person's kind of wanting to let you be. I think they think there's no way it's done. It feels like that. There's no way. We have the square, a challenging situation, and a mountain to climb. This person avoids their emotions. So I think you're going to I think you may be, you know, pushing this person back a little bit. I think that they're going to, especially with the 9 of Feathers, which is the 9 of Swords, I think that they're going to definitely feel a twinge of like insecurity, or this isn't over, but then they're denying it themselves, because it's like, oh, they're just playing hard to get, or they're just teaching me a lesson, they're just give them a couple of months, maybe they're just talking to someone else, we'll be speaking again, there's no way this is over. Like, and it's their own way, pal, too, of avoiding a conflicting emotion, avoiding a conflicting feeling, you know. I think they lie to themselves emotionally quite a bit, you know. If they were in a connection with somebody and that person left, it's like, oh, well, they were just, you know, they they were the bad guy. It wasn't me. They were the one. They were just being dramatic. Like, I feel like, and that's their way of avoiding having to feel things. I feel like they're quite avoidant emotionally. Pile 2. They've got quite avoidant behavior. We have Mercury, think, learn, network, and communicate. I feel like this person may reach out over social media, or they may be lingering around your social media. Pile number 2. Yeah, this person almost avoids going too deep into their emotions. It's their way of self-preservation. It's a way of protecting themselves. I think they might have learned that as a child, or they may have learned that through a hard breakup. This is how I'm gonna protect myself. We have Jupiter, grow and expand. This person definitely feels like they've changed, and I see that from their own perspective. It's like, I've grown. Like, I've really grown and I've changed. The only thing is, they're still avoidant. So it's like, you may have grown in certain areas, but emotionally, have you really, if you're still avoidant? Because it doesn't even feel like they're working on it. You know what I mean? When you're bringing up these conflicting feelings of, I'm not interested, they're not feeling them. They're still not feeling into them. So I don't feel like they've done the emotional inner work, even though maybe perspective wise they could have changed, or they've decided that the approach that they had with you before was wrong. Like, yeah, maybe that's different, because they're definitely seeing from that different perspective, but it's like, emotionally there's a depth that still hasn't been reached, because they're still avoiding some feelings. And they could even see where they went wrong, but it's like, they're not seeing why they did wrong. It's like, I can see where I did wrong, I'll do it differently next time. But it's like, they're not asking themselves, why did I do that though? Why was I avoiding it? Do you know what I mean? The emotional part, there's an avoidance, which is leading them then to be a little bit like, oh, we'll be together at one point, or we'll continue, you know, they'll be back speaking to me in, like, you know, a couple of months. It's fine. Like, it's avoidant. It's very flippant. It's very airy. It's very, you know, it's fine. Pile number, oh god, these cards. Pile number 2. Who is pile number 2's next secret admirer? You're definitely very shut off emotionally to them this time around, whereas I feel like before you weren't, and that's why the tornado came through for you guys. House 7, profound relationships, intimacy, and romantic partners. Back of the deck, we have Aquarius, originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. Okay. Square Mercury, Jupiter, house 7. I do see them coming back with some sort of proposal to grow with you in some sort of area. They could try and play it safe to protect their emotions and say, we could be friends, or we could see each other as friends and be around each other as friends, or let me apologize to you in person. But I do feel like there's a motive behind it of wanting to get closer to you. They're kind of wanting to jump back into the tornado. Do I think that they want the chaos from before? No. But they definitely do want their access to you like before, you know. There's definitely that. 100%. I do feel like they think that because you and you was you've grown, you've changed, so it's like, oh well, we've both grown, so we can both grow and build something of substance. We can both create, you know, a connection here now. We can both kind of align with each other here. But I don't think, this is the thing, they're not really listening to you. This is the thing, they're keeping that protection, but they're not listening to you, because if they were really listening to you, they'd probably see that they don't meet your needs, they can't give you your needs. They probably see that you're probably not interested, but that's the thing, they're not listening to you. And that's something I would say to be careful of if you are wanting to build a friendship or something with them. They're not listening to that you might not be interested, or they're not listening to, you know, how much they may have hurt you in the past. It's like, I know I did wrong, but they're not quite getting how they might have hurt you. There's still a lack of accountability, even with what I feel may be an apology. I almost feel like there's a light-hearted an apology, or like, oh yeah, I know where I went wrong, I've grown, you know. And it's like, there is change in this person, but I don't think they've emotionally matured. That's it, they haven't emotionally matured. Definitely, I don't feel like much shadow work has gone on. And I think you're going to be aware of this. to be honest with you, because I think you're going to really see. I feel like maybe in the past you might have just jumped into the tornado, whereas you're really going to be viewing them and really listening to them this time around. Instead of maybe projecting, I think you're going to be really viewing their words and taking their words for, you know, truth. It's like, well, I don't think you're that serious at all. Which is why I feel like there's a detachment here with you guys. But you're definitely going to feel some sort of way, but it's like, I'm not going to feed it. Because I don't want to be in that tornado. So let's pull some more. Let's pull your final cards. Pile number 2. You're so beautiful. Look at her eyes, guys. Look at Luna's eyes. Look at the camera. Look at your eyes. They're so beautiful. They're so beautiful. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. I think this person does like you. I will say that, pile 2. I think that this person does like you. They see a lot that they like to build with you. It's just, you're in 2 different realms. You're speaking 2 different languages. And I just think this person is a bit chaotic and reckless. And I think that this person sometimes makes a mess and doesn't take accountability. And I think that this person does genuinely, in their own way, appreciate you and see a lot of light in you. But it's like, they're not, you do the work, they don't. And they don't, it's their own, it's a protective thing. It's a way of keeping themselves safe. They don't want to acknowledge emotions and feelings and vulnerabilities. They don't where it's at. And when they pop up, I don't feel they will be, because that's what I'm tapping into. It's their way of keeping themselves safe, you know. Pile number, but that's where the bittersweet comes in, because I think you know that sometimes they do mean well, but there's a toxicity, there's a shadow part that leads them to be destructive. And it's like, that's the bittersweet part, because it's like, we could have had something, but you just don't want to grow with me. It's that sort of feeling. It's like having to leave them behind because they don't want to grow. I think that's where that twinge of emotion comes from for you guys, pile 2. Pile number 2's next, Secret Admirer. Tap me into pile number 2's next, Secret Admirer, and their energies, spirit guides. Radical acceptance. I think you're seeing something for what it is. I'm just putting that there, baby girl, okay? I think you're seeing something for what it is. Oh God. And we have wisdom. You've grown, pal 2. You've grown out of this situation. I think you're seeing it from a deeper perspective, but I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be really healing for you guys when this person comes back. Because I think maybe a talk would happen where you see things differently. And I think that may help you heal for some of you. If you don't feel like you want to talk to them, don't. Because that could be for whoever else. Don't force it to fit. But I do think a conversation will be had that might be quite healing for you. And I think it's going to let you release something. I think something's going to come up to release. It's not too heavy. It's like a bittersweet, I'm letting you go now sort of thing. It's like, you know, what's it called? It's not The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's the other one that I like. What is it called? The girl, she comes back to, well, she doesn't come back to life. She's just not alive. What's her name? Emily. What is the name of the film, Spirit Guides? What's the name of the film, Spirit Guides? I can't believe I've forgotten it. I've got it, all the images being shown in my head, but it's the name I need. The Corpse Bride. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. The Corpse Bride. It's like at the end of The Corpse Bride, if you've ever watched that, Emily, who really wants to be with Victor, the guy who is in love with somebody else, he's marrying somebody else. She really wants to be with him, but they're from 2 different worlds and it just doesn't work. But in the end, that feeling of like rejection and all of that, she allows it to be released, and that connection actually ends up setting her free. And at the end she says, you've set me free, and she kind of is able to kind of like rebirth. And I almost feel this is going to have some sort of effect like that, where you're like, I see that we're maybe not the right fit, you know, just by speaking to them, and it's like, I'm ready to let this be. I'm ready to let this kind of go. Or there's a piece of the puzzle being brought back with a conversation that's had. I don't think you're going to invest your emotions into it, but I do think it's, you know, just with something this person says is going to help you see something from a different perspective, or just having a conversation with them, you're really going to see why maybe you wouldn't want that, you know, in a partnership, or why it was never really going to be good for you, or you're just going to see something differently. Something's going to click for you, I feel. Even if you don't choose to respond to them, it's just a message that's sent to you, or somebody passes on a message to you in real life. I feel like, yeah, I feel like you're going to see why things went the way that it did, and I think it's going to help you release something, which is why we have the radical acceptance with the heart chakra thing. It's like you're letting it go, and you're letting it be what it was. And then we have stillness here as well at the back of the deck. Yeah, I feel like you're looking at this person like a tornado. This person may have a lot of air placements, but I see you guys being very still and kind of observing and really listening in to what this person's saying, listening to what this person isn't saying, and really seeing this person from a different perspective. And really, I see you guys being very grounded and not getting caught up at all. And I think it's probably going to be a bit healing for you. Even though I think this person might linger about for a little bit more, I don't think this person's going to really accept that it's done. I'm going to be honest. So pile number 2. That is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who your next secret admirer is. So you guys chose the Ocean Jasper. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. Straight away I'm being taken to the third eye. I'm not gonna lie guys, before I even pick up the cards, like I'm literally being taken to the third eye, and someone just being very I don't know whether you're psychic, your person's psychic. I just keep being shown like a crystal over the third eye. It's like that's where I'm being drawn. I'm being really intuitively drawn to you. I want to know more about you. I want to be around you. It's I feel curious, you know. Super intuitively drawn to you. I feel like not long after you meet this person, or this person knows who you are, there's going to be visitations in dream state, things like that. This is like a deep connection, like a soulful connection, and it wouldn't shock me if you or your person both work with spirit in some sort of way, because it's like you know when you get electric shock when you touch something, it feels a little bit like that. Really interesting. Pile number 3. Who is pile number 3's next secret admirer? Pile number 3's next secret admirer. Oh goodness. Pile number 3's next secret admirer. We have the Chariot. Pile number 3's next secret admirer. We have the 4 of Acorns, which is the 4 of Wands. You're going to feel like you know this person straight away, and they're going to feel like they know you straight away. It's going to be mutual. I was going to say mutable then. This person may be a mutable sign. Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo or Pisces. 2 of Crystals, which is the 2 of Pentacles. Oh God. See, these cards are just whizzing out. I feel like everything's just coming in. And we have the 10 of Feathers, which is the 10 of Swords. Recovery and transformation. You guys may trigger an awakening in each other, to be honest with you. Or you guys may bring up some wounds to work through. Or you could meet each other when you're both going through a tower moment or a rebirth. Or you guys could... The reason you guys could be drawn to each other, it could be like you... Because this is what I was saying, I was taken to the healing professions and connecting with spirit straight away. You may both speak about a common karmic cycle you've worked through. There's a lot of like mutual feelings, like oh, I've just gone through an ego death. Oh my God, yeah, me too. Yeah, I was just doing shadow work on my inner child. Oh my God, same. Yeah, when I was young, this happened to me. Oh my God, same. Like, it's like, did we just become best friends? Like, you know what I mean? It feels like that. It's like, oh, we're very alike. Oh, you can really see me. Oh, okay. Okay. there's an intensity here, I'm not gonna lie, pile 3, an intensity. And I feel like, you know, when you download a lot, like, and I feel like you'll know this, when you take in a lot of information and you feel a bit drifty and you have to take a moment to really ground afterwards because it's like your head feels heavy. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling here. You definitely may work with each other in regards to spirit, or you may just activate that within each other quite quickly as well. We have the 3 of Feathers, which is the 3 of Swords, release and recovery, at the back of the deck. So let's get in and channel. Spirit guys, can you just help me ground while I read this, because I don't want to talk too fast or just get too ungrounded. So can you please help me root into my root chakra, please, while I give this reading. Pile with the 3, the Chariot, discipline, determination, 4 of Acorns, comfort, community. You're honestly, I don't think either of you are going to have a choice. You're both going to be put on each other's paths. So like literally like a magnet going zip. Like you're literally going to fall onto each other's paths and just be really drawn to each other quite quickly. I feel like whether this is career, humanitarian work, spiritual work, something like that, or it just happens. Like, and it could even be that this is just a chance meeting. You are going somewhere to pick up, let's just say, herbs. This person's doing the same. You speak, you have something in common, and then all of a sudden you meet again. It's like, what on earth is going on? I've never seen you before, and now I've seen you twice in one day, or I've seen you twice in 1 week, or something like that. And then it's like this person's transferred into your place of career, and then it's like, oh my god, what are the chances? I literally just met this person last week. This is like, you can't escape. It's like you're being put in front of each other, and I feel like you both, like, there's an intensity. So I see both of you like, no thank you, this is intense, I'm walking away, not interested, don't want a relationship, not into it, go away. Like, don't want a friendship, don't want any of this, I'm leaving. And then it's like you're like doing this, and then it's like the universe is like boom, and you're like, no, not interested, boom, don't want a relationship right now, boom. And it's like it keeps pulling. I'm hearing Back to You by Selena Gomez. It's like it's like a lightning bolt as well, and I feel intense here because there's something you need to experience through each other, pile 3. There's something that you're going to need to experience which is going to cause a little bit of a breakdown or a little bit of healing to happen. This feels like a really important connection. I don't know if it's going to be like a really... The thing is, I don't know whether it's going to be like a long distance connection, in the sense of like, I don't know whether it's going to go the distance, or whether you just meet to go through something to evolve into better versions of yourselves, or you're both going to meet, go through a tower moment, evolve into better versions of yourselves, and that's when a connection may happen. I'm being told to be very careful with going too far into the future, because this is something that needs to happen the way it's supposed to. So I don't want to give too many predictions there, but I do feel like this person is going to be an admirer of you, because even though there's an intensity and it's like, oh, I don't know, like I don't know, because it's like your hearts, it's like a rawness between you both. Does that make sense? There's a rawness. You see each other. You may even like start a conversation, but it can't help but get deep, and like you may think, right, next time I see this person, I'm just going to keep it very shallow, I'm just going to keep it very, you know, 3D based. I'll just ask them what their favorite tea flavor is, or their favorite chocolate bar is. Like, let's just keep it there. And then it's like you have a conversation, and then it's like now you're talking about, you know, the let's just say a time when you were 6 years old and this happened, that it brings up this fear, and then you start feeling really intense and you want to leave, and you go home and you're like, that was really intense, and you purge, and you're like, right, the next time I see this person, I'm going to keep it shallow, and then you just go deep again, and it's mirrored. Everything I'm saying about you, your person's going to feel too. So there's an intensity, there's an attraction, there's an admiration, there's a crush, 100%, but it's more than, we're way more than skin deep. And I think that both of you are going to be a little bit frightened of this. To be honest with you, it's something that's going to help you heal. It's something that's going to turn a part of you inside out. It's something that's going to help you acknowledge something, and you're going to really bloom from it. It's not going to take over your whole life. Let me say this. It's not going to, you know, like when we go through an ego death and it changes your life completely, or we go through, you know, Kundalini awakening, it changes your perspective on life completely, and you get all of this information and it brings this massive clear out. it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be that intense. It's focusing on an area which more feels like your heart chakra, more feels like your soul, your heart, feeling vulnerable. And I don't know whether this person's almost going to prep you for a connection in the future, or whether this is going to be the connection in the future. But I have to keep that in the balance, because it's going to be different for all of you, and I'm being told to not tap too much into that, to be honest with you. But somewhere where you're lacking, this person's going to show you, and it's going to be balanced out. Somewhere where you don't feel confident, it's going to be balanced out. A fear that you have, it's going to be balanced out. There's something coming in to straighten that out, and it's going to be this person, and vice versa. You're going to do it for them. It's going to be mirrored in them as well, which is really interesting. It could be an activation of a certain energy residing in you that maybe you're too scared to tap into, but something's really going to come out, and it's going to allow you to have control over it, and it's going to allow you to that area of your life to become very fruitful. For me, this feels like a relationship side, so that's definitely what I'm picking up here with the Three of Feathers. Four of Acorns here. I think you're both going to be very aware, because again, I feel you both are very aware of your psychic abilities and things like that. Definitely a certain level of consciousness that you both have. You're both going to very quickly be like, this person's part of my soul tribe, this person's part of my soul team, my spirit team. Definitely had lives with this person before. You may have past life dreams when this person comes in. Very like topsy-turvy, very wonky, very you know, my feet aren't touching the ground sort of thing. I really had to ground getting into this. Ten of Swords is gonna, you know, the snake here, there's a whole piece of your skin that's gonna shed with this person. There's this feeling of like, you really see me, and that absolutely petrifies me, and I want to run, but now I'm gone to pick up a donut from Krispy Kreme, and here you are. Like, it's like, but I'm trying to run from you, I don't understand it. And it's like, you bump into them, I was like, I was craving Krispy Kreme, that's why I'm here. And it's like, yeah, I was having the same craving. And it's like, what is happening? Like, there's something like that. Like, I think you're gonna have serendipitous moments where you just keep meeting until you're like, right, fine, universe, I understand. What am I learning through this person? What's actually happening? But there will be a breakdown or something. I think you're going to pass through some emotions, but I want to say you're going to be super equipped for it. And it's a bridge into, you know, something really expanded and being very beautiful for you. But you have to pass through that emotion first. It's something, and it's not something you've been avoiding. It's not something that like you've been bypassing. It needed to be awoken by somebody, and vice versa with your person, and I think that's what's going to happen here. It doesn't feel toxic. I think that you both are very emotionally mature. It doesn't feel toxic. It doesn't feel no one here is being spiteful. No one here is trying to hurt anyone. And I don't think this purge or this release or whatever is going on here, it's not coming from you being hurt. It's coming from parts of you being seen that you've hid away to keep maybe yourself safe, or it's parts of you being loved and soothed that you didn't feel deserved that love, which can be quite frightening. I have to be honest with what's coming through, but it's, if you see what I'm feeling and what Spirit's making me feel from the outer perspective of it, this is really beautiful, because it's like, wow, you're really, there's a part of you that maybe you feel has never really been loved. This person's going to nurture it, and vice versa. You're going to see a part of this person that maybe they don't even see within themselves, that hasn't been loved. They don't feel like it needs to be loved, and you're going to love that. And you're really going to really nurture that. And I think it's going to cause like a breakdown and breakthrough. It could be that this person, you may not speak to this person for a little while you're working through things, or it could be that you both really hold each other while you're working through things. Again, being told to leave that where it is, it'll happen the way it's supposed to. There's something really divinely guided here, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm seeing the number 6, or 6 months, or something around June time. Yeah, that's what I'm picking, 6 weeks maybe. It's this is an answer to something though. I feel like you've wanted, maybe you've been manifesting something in, or you've wanted something to be released, or you've wanted something to be balanced within you. This is an answer to that. It's the universe going, right, we're going to make sure that this person's open to this and really gets the best of this, so we need to really bring this up, this piece that's holding them back. We really need to pull that thorn. Let's bring this person in, because they also need that mirrored. Yeah, it's their time to connect. It feels like that. Pile number 3. I want to say very quickly, you're not going to lose yourself. I don't know if you've lost yourselves in connections before. You're not going to lose yourself at all. There's a really strong message coming through. You're not going to lose yourself. You're going to be very slow paced. Even though things feel like a lightning bolt, you're really going to ground. And you're really going to be very courageous with how you pass through these emotions. So there's no need to fear, even though that fear is going to come up. There's no need to. You're going to really hold yourself and accept things that you're working through. I'm hearing you ace it every time. You're going to ace it this time too. And I see a lot of gratitude about this as well while you're working through it. But you're not going to lose yourself. I keep wanting to say that to you. You're not going to lose yourself at all. And you're both holding each other's hands. It's like, I'm not going to let you lose yourself. You're not going to let me lose myself. It's like a team thing as well. You're learning to lean on each other as well. I think you're learning to lean on someone. Maybe you've never felt like you could. So there's that. Really showing up for each other. And I think sometimes when you feel deep emotions or when you get triggered because, you know, you're opening up to love, you sometimes, and being told, and your person might do it sometimes, push. No, it's only you. The other person doesn't do this. There's something else for the other person. You sometimes push away so you can deal with the emotion on your own because you don't want to see people see you vulnerable. I feel like you're going to try and push this person back. This person's going to be there, like, just like, I'm here. You know, and they're really going to ask these questions. And that's why you wanted to run path 3, because I think they're going to be like, how are you feeling about this? How are you feeling about that? And you're like, you know what I mean? I think you're going to try and push, but this person's still there. And I think for your person, your person feels like they may have wounds of, that person's going to run away, so I'm going to run away too. Whereas I feel like you're going to push and this person's going to be having to learn patience and holding space for you. Whereas they usually just run because they're like, oh, well, you don't want me, then I'm going to run. And that's something. That's what we're picking on here. This is the thorns, I think. It goes way deeper than that. But that's the initial, what starts to cause a bit of the flood of releasing. Because it's like, oh, I'm feeling these feelings, run away. You're seeing parts of me. You're asking questions no one's asked before, and I've been able to avoid this for a really long time. But you really see me, and you see all of that, so you're asking the questions that nobody asks, and I'm going to push you away now because this is what I do, because I need to deal with this on my own, because you're not used to leaning on someone, and this person's like, I'm right here, and I'm going to keep asking the questions, and I'm going to hold space for you. That's really, I want to cry, but like, I almost feel like I want to cry and hide, whereas you're going to cry and be held by this person. I think that's going to trigger you a bit, because it's like, oh my god, you're really seeing these things, you're seeing these parts of me. It's really and that's the thing, you're learning to open up, because that's what vulnerability is, that's what being held is, that's what being loved is, and that's why it's going to trigger you. I think this went way deeper than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be light-hearted spring, and it's like, yeah, it's beautiful, and it's going to create this beautiful alchemization of your heart space. You're going to be very ready to lean on people and surrender, but you're gonna turn that inside out first, in that area. Pile number 3. Pile number 3 is next. Secret admirer. We have mutable, surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. Are you guys naturally quite fixed, or do you like to have control over things? I'm seeing a lot of cardinal and a lot of fixed energies for you. You're learning to be more mutable and surrendering to others, surrendering to change. We have Capricorn, ambition, realism, and methodical steps. House 10, structure, discipline, life mission, accomplishments, and career. You may meet this person in regards to your career or work, especially if you do work in the spiritual fields. I feel like you'll meet this person through that. I feel like your natal charts are going to mirror each other. You could be a Leo rising, this person could be an Aquarius rising, and it's like that they all kind of mirror each other. It's like interesting, you know what I mean? Especially when it, like, I'm being really taken to the moon. So like you could have let's say a Libra moon, this person has an Aries moon, and it's like there's a lot of like opposites because you're balancing, and it's like you've been able to avoid those parts that you lacked before, whereas this person's coming to activate them and you're having to step into them, and vice versa with your person. It's quite interesting like that. I think you are going to try and run from this person a little bit, pile number 3. You know that meme, and there's a guy and he's like, there's a girl and she's like, and she's running. He's like, why are you running? Why are you running? And she's like, and running. It's like so funny, but like I know it's not gonna be that funny when you're going through it. I know that. But Spirit's trying to bring some humor into it and be like, it's like, I'm ready for a connection. I'm ready to be open for a connection. My heart's ready for a connection. It's like, okay, here it is. And I was like, it's like, why are you running? You know the scene from The Office, and it's like, oh my god, it's happening, everyone stay calm. And then it's like all chaos. Like Michael Scott's like, everyone stay calm, and he's like the most unchill person in that room. Like literally, I feel like that's you. I see you calling to Spirit like, guys, I can't do this. Guys, I'm not ready. I want to go backwards. You know when Michael Scott chucks the computer out of the window and he's like, help, help. I see you to your spirit guides a little bit like, I do see you being a little bit fight or flight, but it's you're learning to surrender there, you know, and manage these feelings and these fears that maybe you've never let come through before. Or you've never felt. This is the thing, I think, do you know what it is as well? I think that this person's going to make you feel safe, but in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. Like, they're really going to be there. They're really going to listen. They're really going to be around you, like, really listening to you. And I think that I've read somewhere that sometimes if we have repressed memories from maybe like childhood and stuff like that, when we enter a relationship and we learn that it's safe to love, or we learn that it's safe to be in something, our repressed memories feel comfortable then to come up. So I almost feel like wounds and shadow parts, this person's going to be holding space, and I think it's going to take a lot for them to hold space too, because I think something's triggering them where they're used to running, and I think they're going to be holding space. And I think that as you're stepping into that kind of safety net, I think that maybe repressed memories or thoughts or fears are really going to show up, because it's like, oh, I feel safe to show this now. Oh, okay, I can finally let this out. And you're like, oh my god, I didn't realize like this was still here. I'm sorry, it's getting deep, but I feel like it's really going to go that way. Yeah. This person's super connected to your life mission. I feel like you have the same sort of life mission, soul mission sort of thing. And then Earth, persistent, patience and practicality. It's like when there's flowers that aren't able to grow because of the environment, it's like this person's setting up shop to like help that environment grow, if that makes sense. It's like getting the sunlight there, changing the pot so that you can kind of grow. I think that's happening, and your energy's doing the same for them. Because you may think as well, oh, I'm going through this and this person's fine. I think this person's going through the same thing. Whereas they're like, I'm going through this and this person's fine. And I think you're both going to be working through some things there. Beautiful rebirth that comes though. And I think you meet, you know, a new part of yourself, you know. So let's pull your final cards. Pile number 3. God, this went deep, guys. This went deep. Pile number 3. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. Pile number 3 is next secret admirer. Jesus. Your cards are like going, I think you're going to be scared of how quick, you know, you connect with this person. We have illusion. And we have nurturer. Have you in past relationships kept people at bay so that they weren't practically really around you all too much, and then maybe projected a relationship or something onto them that made you feel safe because it wasn't really fully there? Or have you guys been drawn to people that mimicked your parents in the past so that you know, maybe your parents were emotionally unavailable, or, you know, were a bit wounded and you felt like you needed to heal them? Have you usually been drawn to relationships that mirrored that because that felt safe to you? and then maybe projected that, oh, this is, you know, this is the relationship that I want, and then maybe got hurt. Yeah, you've done the work. You've really done the work, but now it's time to be nurtured back. And now it's like, you know, I feel like maybe in childhood it might not be like love that you received in childhood. It might not be love that you experienced because maybe your parents weren't able to go as deep as you. I feel like you've always been a bit of an old soul, or they were burdened, they had a lot of wounds that didn't allow them to see those parts of you. This person's going to see those parts of you. And this person's not going to be emotionally unavailable, and this person's not going to be wounded. There's nothing to really fix. You're both helping each other hold space to release parts of each other, you know, that were holding each other back, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense. Because there's nothing necessarily wounded in either of you, because you've worked through that. The whole point of this is you're opening up. There's water finally hitting parts that they've never hit before. So you're no longer having to maybe create an illusion of a partnership with someone, or keeping people at bay and keeping it at a distance. It's like, no, it's here. You're facing it. You're really facing it. I feel like you're going to ace it too. And we have beauty at the back of the deck. I feel like this person's really going to see your heart, because you have the 6 at the top. I think this person's going to be physically attracted to you, but I think this person's going to see your heart. Yeah. I do think you might try and push this person away a little bit first. Yeah. So part 3, there's a bit intense, I'm aware. Didn't expect that to come through, but I think this is going to really help you alchemize and really open up to parts in your heart space and activate parts in your heart space you haven't before. And I think that's really beautiful, pile 3. So that's what I have for you. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you enjoyed. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 4, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who is your next secret admirer, who is going to have a crush on you next. Now, when I opened up to your pile, I heard this scissor song, Too Late, and she sings, is it too late for us? I can't remember the rest of the lyrics, but I know she says, is it bad that I want more? Now, this doesn't come through too heavy. So what I'm feeling here is, I don't feel like the person that is your next secret admirer, I feel like it's somebody that you know, and I feel like it's somebody that's maybe expressed feelings to you before, but I don't feel it's something like an ex, because there's not too much emotional weight here, at least not for you guys. Not really. I don't feel like this is anyone you've actually had a connection with, or had a partnership with, but this is someone that there's like a pondering energy over you. It could also be somebody that tried to shoot that shot and you weren't interested. It could be somebody that you friend zoned, because there's this feeling of, I'm gonna go again, I'm gonna try again sort of thing. But if there was a connection, it would have been very light-hearted. I don't think it ever would have got off the ground, and I don't think there would have been too many emotions involved for at least you guys particularly, but it feels like them as well. But there's almost this feeling of like, fresh start, let's try again. That's why I'm hearing Scissor Song, Too Late, if you want to listen to that as well. So let's get in pile number 4. Yeah, I'm hearing enough time has passed, which makes me feel like this is somebody that you might have even gone on a date with them back in the day, and then like it didn't go well and you just weren't interested. Or it could have been you kind of had a little bit of friction in the past, but again, nothing too deep. This feels very light. This feels like something that hasn't really you haven't affected each other's lives at all. I think this person's just, I feel like they've been maybe watching you from afar or aware of you from afar. But some of you guys, this is somebody that you might work with or have worked with. For a lot of you, I just feel like this is someone that tried to shoot their shot and you weren't interested. Pile number 4. Pile number 4. Who is pile number 4's next secret admirer? We have the Magician. Who is pile number 4's next secret admirer? It could have been somebody as well that was maybe not ready to fully commit to you in the past, or they wanted to maybe shoot their shot but never did. So it could be somebody that you know about but you wouldn't look at in that type of way, because it might have been like they wanted to ask you out or they wanted to shoot their shot, but there might have been insecurities or something holding them back. It could have been that you were in a connection with someone, or you just expressed you weren't interested, or they just felt like you wouldn't be interested in them. That's another feeling that I'm getting, but there's almost this feeling like fresh start. It feels like there's something's changed in their life where they feel like they can step towards you with something now. There's something about that coming through. Pile number 1, please. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Pile number 4. Who is pile number 4's next secret admirer? Who is pile number 4? Who is pile number 4's next secret admirer? We have the 2 of Acorns, which is the 2 of Wands. Insight and focus. Pile number 4, please, spirit guides. Who is pile number 4's next secret admirer? The King of Shells, which is the King of Cups. Harmony and integrity. And then we have the Shadow, self-empowerment and ambition. And the back of the deck, we have love, choice and trust. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this is somebody that's set in sights on you. I feel like this is somebody that either messed up the connection in the past, so maybe maybe they were a bit too young, maybe they were just trying to impress and came off a little bit too strong. There's this feeling of I'm different now, I've changed now, they'd be more interested in me now. I feel like they've been observant of you, because there's this feeling of they've changed. I think they'd be interested in me now, maybe I'm their type now. There's almost this feeling of in the past maybe feeling like you were from two different worlds, whereas now it's like, okay, this is more grounded. Now I feel like we're in the same world. Now I feel like they'd be interested in me. That's kind of how it's coming through. Whether this person's 100% going to reach out, just because I'm hearing the Lose Yourself song by Eminem, and he's like, he's talking about his palms being sweaty, you know, that line. Like there's this feeling of like nervous, like nervousness. So there's still a kind of feeling, not in a sense of like you being out of their league, but there's this feeling of not wanting to be turned down. Maybe like the past, maybe you would have turned them down in the past. There's this feeling of, would they even like me? I don't know. It's like I'm gearing myself up, but then I'm stepping back down. I'm gearing myself up, but then I'm stepping back down. I'm trying to have control over my emotions with the King of Shells, but then it's like the shadows coming up. So I feel like this person wouldn't be interested in me. I'm out of this person's league. They wouldn't want to talk to me. They wouldn't be interested. They could have even tried flirting with you, but you didn't think they were flirting. You could have passed it off as like, oh, they're just being friendly. There is a feeling of that as well. Or you could have outright just said, I'm really not interested. But there's this feeling of I've changed, you've changed. I want to give it a go sort of thing, that there is a feeling of that. And I feel like they feel quite connected to you. They feel like you have a lot in common, or they feel like you've been through the same experiences, or you'd get along. Like it also could have been a connection where maybe you weren't ready to be in a relationship, and maybe they were more slow moving and practical, whereas maybe what you were looking for at the time was something different. So maybe you didn't recognize it as a relationship, so they're kind of like, oh, okay, they're not interested or they're not ready, whereas now they're like, no, this person's ready now. I feel like this person would recognize me now. But then there's still a feeling of like, what if it's the same as before? There's a lot of back and forth. It's really hard to ground this person's actual feelings, which is probably why I'm not really seeing any physical action yet, because I feel like it might take its time before it manifests into the physical, even if it does at all, because this person might just absolutely miss their shot and let their nerves take over, like, because it's very much swinging in the wind. That's 100% what I'm getting. There's not too much to pull. It's like, it's a thought. I think they think of you in really high regard. They must have worked with you or known you from childhood, or been around you as a friend, or maybe they're like a sibling of a friend. They've definitely spoken to you and been in your presence. Again, this feels like you and this person go way back, but it's not deep. Like there's nothing deep here. It's like we go way back, we've spent time with each other. I feel like I know this person, but then it's like we never really got deep, like nothing really broke. I don't know, there's a real strong back and forth here, but they are looking at you in that type of way. I also feel like when I tap into it right now, like in the present, there's 100% a feeling of like, I'm not going to reach out right now because I'm not ready, something's still cooking. So it could be like they don't feel financially ready, they don't feel like they have enough to offer, they could have been doing some healing, they don't feel ready to pop out yet, they could have just come out of a relationship, they don't feel ready to bring someone else new in. That's where they're currently at. Whereas I feel like in the future there's going to be these energies kind of growing of like, well, they're ready, I'm ready. It's that sort of thing. They're looking at you almost like a missed opportunity, but it's like, it can happen, it can still happen, there's still a chance, there's still time has passed, like we've both grown. It's like that. But like I said, it's very light, so I'm not going to go too deeper than that, because I'm not picking up anything much too deeper than that. And this really is coming through more so thoughts than any physical movement. It's very up in the air whether this person would actually reach out, because I'm not seeing anything physical in these cards. Like there's no pentacles, there's no, you know, practical energy coming through. There's thoughts, there's awareness, there's some feeling, but there's no physical movement because we have the shadow here. So there's feelings of disempowerment coming through, or what if it doesn't go the right way, what if they say no again, what if, you know, what if I read them wrong, their own insecurities coming through. Maybe you argued in the past, and they're like, what if they tell me off, what if they shout at me? But like I said, this doesn't feel like anything too deep. This doesn't feel like anything that actually solidified into anything. This doesn't feel like anything that turned into anything. But I feel like they've had you on their mind, like they've always held you in high regard. Find you very attractive, obviously. I feel like they feel quite connected to you on a deeper level, but they haven't explored that yet, but they feel like it's there. It's more like an intuitive thing. This person feels very airy and very emotional, so a lot of water and air coming through from this person. Pile number 4. Pile number 4. Who is pile number 4's next secret admirer? We have Uranus, radical change. Pile number 4. Oh, we have Jupiter, grow and expand. A lot shifted since the last time you would have spoke or been around each other, or they've witnessed a lot of shifts and changes with you, and they've had a lot of shifts and changes within themselves, which has allowed them to grow and you to grow at the same time. So maybe your lives became a little bit separate. I do see growth happening on both sides. Like maybe one of you didn't have a lot of money and now you've gained a lot of money. Maybe one of you had to go through some healing and then you did. Maybe yeah, there's different things. I feel like there's a feeling of you've both grown and expanded, and would be able to hold something with each other now, you know. Pile number 4. Pile number 4. Your cards are shooting out. See, the thing is, they know what they want to do. They know how, like, they know how they feel necessarily. It's just when doubts crop up. I think doubts have held this person back a lot. We have opposition, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. I feel like maybe in the past this person might have felt like you were out of their league. Again, there's this feeling of like putting you maybe on a pedestal. But again, it's like two different languages. In the past, it was like, when we look at oppositions, it's like we are the same, but we have a lot of differences. It's like what's going on with my camera? It's like there's this feeling of, I get you, I feel you on an emotional level, but nothing's cemented into the physical, because I feel like we are from two different worlds. But like I said, there's this feeling of merging. I feel like they're now looking at it like you two could balance each other out and you've both grown. You know what I mean? You may have met each other at a really chaotic time in each other's lives. One of you may have been in a relationship, one of you might not have. But there's a feeling of things balancing out now. That's what I'm picking up. It's just their own insecurities that could stop them from actually, you know. We have the South Node, destined to release. On the back of the deck, we have House 6, establishing a foundation, health, daily life, and practical details. Okay. Destined to release. They feel karmically connected to you. They almost feel like very drawn to you, which could be on a soul level. Maybe you've had past lives together, but they do feel very karmically connected to you. And I feel like they feel very drawn to you in that way. I just feel like it's up to them whether they'd reach out or not, because I just feel like a lot of They keep thinking back to the past and how things went the wrong way, or they might have said the wrong thing and there would have been an argument, and it's like, is it really worth it? Are they just going to shoot me down again? Or are they going to, you know, tell me off again? Or are they, you know, is it just going to fall flat again? I don't know. And there's just this feeling of like, I want to, but it's just all in the head at the moment. There's nothing really coming through. They keep thinking to the past though. They keep thinking to the past. But then there's something like soulful there. Like they feel very connected to you in like a soulful way. This person might be quite deep. This person may be quite connected to spirit, or it could just be something like they're very emotional, very connected to their emotions, very connected to their intuition. They definitely have a connect. I don't know. This is either a past life connection, or you would have had some sort of false start in the past, but it doesn't feel too chaotic or deep or bird. Like, I don't know whether there's been like enough time passed, like I felt at the beginning, where there isn't too much karma. Karmic energies left over. Maybe you both rebirthed and cleansed from it. That could be it. It could be that you both released a lot of the pain from the past, if this was a situationship or something like that, where there does feel like this rebirth and this new beginning, because a lot of changes, you know, come in and there has been this alchemization. That could be the case, and maybe they're thinking back to the past and going, I don't want it to be like that again. But they honestly is swinging like a pendulum. I feel like I'm going round in circles. It's like, I don't want it to be like the past, but I really feel connected to them, and this is a new start, and I feel like we're more aligned now, and I feel like we're more alike now, and I feel like we're more connected. I see a bigger picture now. But then it's like, but I don't want it to go like the past. And what if I reach out and they don't want to talk to me? What if I reach out and they tell me off? It feels like that, and it's like a back and forth. What if I read the situation wrong? What if it falls flat again? What if we just go around in a circle? And it's like I'm swinging, but it's not stopping on a clear yes or no. So I don't know whether this person will 100% reach out, but they will be an admirer, because I feel like they always kind of have been there admiring you. I feel like they have kept tabs on you. I feel like they have been aware of different shifts and change, whether it's been spiritually, because we have got the South Node here. There's something energetic. You may have a lot of 12th house synastry. Yeah, I feel like you may have a lot of 12th house synastry. But yeah, there's this feeling of either energetically they've been aware of what you're up to, or just physically they've kept up to date with what you're up to, maybe on social media or hearing through the grapevine. But if this is a situationship, I feel like it's a situationship from long ago, like years ago. I feel like you're not tied to this person at all. They're not necessarily tied to you in like a way of like karmic. It's not deep. They just feel drawn, and you do. You know what I mean? There's like a soulful energy there, but it's like, I don't know. That's how it's coming across. Like, I feel like when I say you're drawn to this person, I feel like this person has stuck out to you, or someone you might have thought back to. But there's nothing too deep there, which either you've done a lot of releasing and they have, or this genuinely is something that didn't really come off the ground and it wasn't that deep. Pile number 4. Who is pile number 4's next secret admirer? We have home. This could have been someone you know from childhood and like school, college. We have illusion. Okay, yeah, I feel like emotionally, I feel like you're connected, but it's like nothing's cementing physically. In another realm, we're connecting, but nothing's cemented in the 3D. Nothing's physically cemented, but I feel very drawn to you. You feel comfortable to me. You feel like home to me. That sort of, it's that sort of feeling. Like there's an energy that naturally draws them to you. The only thing with illusion is, again, sometimes when there's not a lot of physical effort in a connection, and a lot of there's not so much of a physical relationship, there is a lot of space for illusion. So maybe this person might have just texted you but never met you, but there was an illusion that was created in regards to like them projecting what a relationship with you would have been like without them actually having to be with you. Could have been the same for you. So there's this feeling of like, I feel like the bubble's popped, and that's why they're feeling like they could maybe physically have something with you now. But then again, it's like, what if it's just like before? I don't, you know, there's that sort of feeling. But I do feel like there was this is what I mean, 12th house is like Neptunian energy, Pisces energy. Like, I'm not really seeing clearly, but they're feeling like they're seeing a little bit more clearer now. Or they kind of get you now, or they've witnessed you go through a shift, or they've gone through a shift and it's like, no, I'm ready now. It feels like that. In the back of the deck, we have Sacred Unity, which again, it almost feels like soulful in a way. But nothing's like cementing. Do you understand what I mean? Like nothing's physically coming into fruition. It's all thoughts and awareness, but no drive and action. So I don't know if this person would genuinely reach out to you. But it's almost like this. They're even living the thought of reaching out to you in their head. This is what I mean. There's no, but they want to. I feel so wishy-washy with this person. I'm sorry if I can't physically ground too much about them, but they just kind of drifting or floating when it comes to you. Yeah. But they definitely view you as missed opportunity. They definitely view you as somebody that maybe the one that got away, or somebody that they could have had something with, but it fell through. So there's a kind of what if feeling. You know the Jason Derulo song, What If? That song. But more so the song that came through at the beginning, Too Late by SZA. Is it too late for us? I'm sure she sings both Scared of Love. Is it too late for us? Is it bad that I want more? Something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, powerful. That is what I have for you. I hope this resonated. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.